I like that. G'day everyone. How's everyone going? I hope everybody's doing well. So welcome to another session. Today I'm going to be embellishing this painting. This was an acrylic pour many years ago, and I kept, you know how you keep putting things off, you need to fix something and then you put it away and you forget all about it. So it keeps resurfacing, and I've decided I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is just going to highlight some areas here on this little guy. I might actually paint another one here. And I'll put some rocks. So I'll keep a lot of this, and then the rest of it probably make like a sandy background. So all of these little cells that I've got here, I'm going to turn them into like little pebbles. And blah blah blah. I don't even know why I bother saying what I'm going to do when I don't do any of it. I do everything completely different. Stay tuned. I'm going to speed up this bit so you can see what I come up with. Okay, lovely people. Let's kick this one off just by explaining what I'm doing here, and you probably won't see it in the end because I will change the background. But I'm actually playing with the gecko and putting some really lovely colors. Very random. I'm not even thinking about the outcome. I'm just sort of going with the flow. Like I said, a lot of it will look different in the end, and that is because I'm layering. So this layer you will be able to see, but it won't be as prominent. So this was a really long video in many long parts. It went on for days, so I'm speeding it up. Okay guys, so I want to show you what I did. I didn't film this because I was in the studio. I had some resin and it was a quick decision to do this. So what I did was I just painted some resin. I used this silicone tool and I painted some resin. See that? Can you hear that? So I just painted the gecko with resin, and it was great because there's nothing over here, so it didn't leak anywhere. Reason being, I want to protect him from the colors coming off, because I'm going to be using some masking liquid. So I'm going to paint over here because I want to do possibly an acrylic pour to change the background. So that's the idea. We'll see how we go. Okay, don't go anywhere. There it is. Because this stuff dries very fast and I don't want to keep my bottle open. I'll have to buy some more masking liquid. It's a good stuff. Okay, so here we go. I don't even know if it's going to stick, but we'll give it a go. Yep, looks like it does. I just have to do thick. And that'll just rub off. Now, I was worried that if I put this masking liquid on directly on top of my lizard here, freshly painted, when I go to take it off, I might take some of the paint off. So just applying the masking liquid, I've sped this up about 45 times the speed, so it's took a little while. Okay, we're ready to go. Mix up some colors. Oh, just go. What's happened here? So sticks. I even use used sticks. I don't care. Whatever I've got ready there, as long as they're clean, it's great. So we're going to use a few different colors. I will be mixing colors from my own pigments. So this one was rust. This one here is chocolate. I have some of these in the shop still, but I'm not sure exactly how many I've got left. And I've got some carmine, which looks pink, but it's a deep red when mixed properly. and very pigmented. Very, very pigmented. So I've got to be careful. I'm going to make sure I keep it clean. Look at that. It does look pink, doesn't it? Once it dries, it's usually really deep red, which is why I called it carmine. I've got some gold and I've got an acrylic binder. I don't have a black powder, so I'm just going to use the regular black paint. Oh, if I can get some out, that would be great. Maybe undo that. So I'm not going, oh, geez, I managed to make a mess straight away. So I'm not going for any, that's probably a bit too much, geez. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. And what I was trying to say is I'm not going for any particular technique or result. I'm not going for cells or anything like that. I am just wanting to possibly do some ribbons, I'm thinking. I think ribbons would be great, just to kind of give an illusion of, or an idea of the Australian kind of earth and the desert and all that, different sort of layered surfaces. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's get some of this rust, or rather chocolate, put it in there. So I don't need a lot, but I want it to be quite transparent, so I'm putting a lot in there. I could use some Floetrol with it as well. It just means that I'll have to go look for it. My bright gold, gorgeous pearl pigment. All of these are natural matte pigments. Get a little bit of this just for contrast, I'm not sure. And I'll have to get a white as well. I don't want too much of this one. And some of the molten gold powder. Molten gold used to come in this form. It doesn't anymore, which is a bummer. But I'm savoring this one for special projects like this. I'm going to go grab some Floetrol, I think. I might put some of this binder in here. I'll get some Floetrol and some PVA glue possibly. Come on, you're coming out or what? It's a bit thick. Okay. It's pretty thick stuff, this. And there. I don't need it in my paint. Stop. I don't need it in my paint because that's already got a binder in it. I'm just going to mix it. I will need more. It does help if you put a little bit of water in there. Or just some more binder. So this way you can use your... See, I don't have a lot of paint. There's quite a bit of that, so I don't have a lot of paint in tubes because I've got a lot of pigments and I can very easily make a paint. So it doesn't worry me. So if you have paint, just use paint. But I love that I have so many different colors. Look at that, that's gorgeous. Just means you have to kind of really work it. You need probably a board and some, like a grinder to grind it down. Usually they use this glass, I forget what it's called, to grind it down. But I'm alright. I don't mind a bit of texture. So if I have a few lumpies in my, it's going to be a background for earth anyway. So that's why I don't worry about it. Otherwise, you know, you can even put this in a blender. You get those little blenders. Put it all in there like a coffee grinder. It'll do the job within seconds. So that's that. Just something new. Like, what would happen if you're stuck somewhere and there's no paints? You can't buy any paints, but you can dig up some earth and find a nice colourful rock, and you can grind it down and make colour out of it. That's how they get pigments, you know, out of different type rocks and, I don't know, things, natural elements, things that you find in nature, in the earth. Look at that colour, isn't that gorgeous? That and that together, beautiful. What's this one? Oh, this one's my... Now everything is looking very opaque. Those are naturally opaque. The pearls are going to look a little bit opaque because of this binder, but once it all dries, it'll get its shine back. Here we go with this. This is another matte. Might be a nice contrast. We do have lovely shades of pink in the earth as well. Pink and red, yellows and browns and greens. Actually, this should probably get a green as well. This one's going to need a little bit more. Gorgeous colour, look at that. Even with that matte, it's still beautiful and shiny. Oh, it's gorgeous. Pretty thick now. That's very, very thick. And this is so fine. My watch is telling me to get up and stretch. Oh, let's listen to it. Get up. This needs a really good mix. And that one. Oh, how gorgeous are these colours. Earth colours. I will grab. Let's go grab a green. Right, let's do that now. Okay, so no Floetrol, no worries. Let's get some of this white in there. I'm going to need some of it. We got PVA glue. So we're going to use PVA glue and some water. Actually, I'm going to pour it in here. That way I've got a bit of control. I'll put you over here. Okay, so let's just go a little bit of PVA glue and a little bit of water. Here we go. A little bit for you. So the ratio, I don't know, 1 to 2, 2 parts. Probably could even go more, but anyway, I'm just doing about 1 to 2. 1 part glue, 2 parts paint, or thereabouts, because, you know, I'm not being too accurate. Like I said, I am not going for any specific kind of effect. I'm mainly going for, actually that one's got the most, yeah, mainly going for the what's it called, my brain's not working this morning, like a lace, which will be pretty easy to do. So that's that. Let's go with some water now. Let's mix it in first just to see the thickness. I am telling you, matey, we're checking the thickness and see how it thickens it up real quick. So we're going to put some water in there. good idea would be to put water in small amounts and then work out the thickness or the thickness. So that's pretty loose in my opinion. I'm going to give all of these a really good stir, because you're going to try and eliminate or minimize the lumps. So I'm just going with it. So I'm just going to go a little blip there, a little bit everywhere. Not too much, just a bit. And give them all a good stir, because it's easier to add extra water than add extra pigment and all the rest. So, now if I had a coffee grinder here, I just pop it in there. And of course you'd never use it for coffee again, you just use it for the pigments. I have to say that because some people, you know, there's always that someone who will, you know, not know this. I like using my pigments because I know they're good pigments and I know what's in the paint that I make. So I make sure that I can use my pigments as much as I can. It does take a little bit of time to make it, but the paintings last longer. You know, the old antique paintings, they used to, you know, use pigments like this and mix them with mediums and things like that and get them right, and they were natural pigments and they last. Okay, here are our colors plus the black and the white, and just have to wait a few more minutes for my Liquitex or masking liquid to dry up, and then we're ready to go. We are ready to go, just drying up a little bit of that masking liquid, and now just adding some colors in. Okay, so here we go. I'm layering my colors, starting with the white and then just tilting the cup a little bit, so just to make sure that my pigments are sort of sitting one on top of the other. And I'm alternating the opaques with the transparents, just so that, you know, I get some sort of effect, and just pretty much just pouring it over in like a lace kind of style, and of course adding some more. So the idea of having the liquid mask or the masking liquid is to obviously stop that paint from going over my lizard, and it worked out really well. I mean, it took a little bit of time to apply it, but it's really worth doing that, you know, because the pain of pulling the paint off where you don't want it coming off, yeah, it's not fun. And I just loved the way the background worked out. It was perfect for what I needed it for. And just using the hairdryer now to move the pigments around and let them do their own thing. And that's pretty much all I did with this. It took a couple of days. We've had some warm days, so it took a couple of days to dry. Okay, so we're here about 24 hours later, and I love how organic this looks. It's almost, oh, a bit sticky there. It's a little bit wet still here, but it's almost all dry. But I drained a lot of, and there it's a bit, you can see where it's shiny. I drained a lot of the paint off so that it dries quicker. Otherwise it could take 2-3 days for it to dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. See how it's coming off now, because there's resin underneath there, so it comes off very easy. Okay, I'll take a photo of that. He's shedding. He is shedding. Just got to make sure that I don't put my hand into wet paint. That's still pretty dry. Alright, so I'm going to speed up this. It's you can just use your nail or whatever. See how good that's coming off. It's good stuff, this. I protected my lizard, which is great. So I'm just going to make sure I get it all off and not damage this beautiful skin that I have over the top of it now. Oh, I love that. You can feel it. Listen. Hear that? That's texture. That's just from not mixing those pigments thoroughly, and you get those bubbles. I love it. I don't even think I'm going to resin over it. I love the texture. I might just seal it with varnish. Anyway, enough talking. Let me just get on with this. Just have to be careful with the paint, because you can actually rip the paint off. It will lift in some areas because this is resin here, but I've still got some of that masking liquid underneath there, so I've got to get that. That's what I mean by tidying it up. But you sort of need to be careful. If your paint is too thick, you can easily rip that. So I try to make it as thin as possible. Some areas are still pretty thick. It doesn't matter as long as I can sort of reveal my lizard properly. Then I will be right as rain. One good thing about putting PVA in your pigments or your pastes, look at that. That actually ripped that bit of wood there. It sticks. It's not going nowhere when you put it on the canvas, especially. See that? Anyway, another little tip for you. Now it's time to dress this gecko up and pretty him or her up. I mean, look at that. I'm just using a white acrylic pen and just simple dots, you know, following the lines and just having a bit of fun with it. I mean, I'm not really one to do slow work. I'm an abstract sort of dramatic kind of artist. I love to really get in there, get it done, and then just look at things that I need to improve. So for me to sit there for hours and hours putting these dots on the lizard, look how nice that turned out, and just changing colors here and there, it was a big thing and I really enjoyed it. So now I am putting another layer of resin just over the gecko and just using the tool to guide that resin to where I want it to go, because I don't want it going on to my background. And just rearranging some leaves, gum leaves, and little bits and pieces that I collect when I go for my walks. I've got a park here where I take Millie, my dog, for a bit of a run around, and then, you know, I'll collect some leaves and little branches and things like that. So I decided to put that into my painting, and now I decided that, surprise, surprise, I just changed my mind and I keep adding to things as I go. Just some gems, some beautiful opals. This is a white opal, and some clear quartz as well, just sticking up there, and just what an enjoyable piece of art I did here. I mean, it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I love it. And here it is, all done, and resined over some of those leaves to keep them from breaking. And let me know what you think. I really enjoyed doing this piece. I hope you liked watching it. Just let me know in the comments, what do you think? Bye for now. Hope to see you soon. Bye.